Welcome to pattern making class. I'm your college instructor, Annette Julie, and today we're going to be working on adding seam allowance and also butterflying our front of our basic skirt. Basic skirt just is a little bit pegged down here at the bottom. So grab your pattern making tools and let's get started. Got some tape, pattern making ruler, pencil and pen, paper scissors. Could be using my hip curve. We've got pattern weights. And we're also going to need some paper to trace off our skirt. And like I said, I'm going to start with the front. There's my basic front skirt. It's a little bit pegged at the bottom. And then there, that's it opened up. Let me move it over a little bit. And I think I'll go ahead and make a grain line. Right there in the middle. Making our grain line, I'm using my alpha numeric paper. I'm using my ones right now to draw that straight line. I can go ahead and fold it. So start by just lightly creasing it. Just lightly crease it from the middle out, middle out. Now you can start doing a firm press. That looks good for our grain line. Good. We now have that paper butterflied. It's double. So when we take our front, which it had a little piece of paper underneath showing that there's another side to it. But we want to go ahead and lay this down here and trace this off. Also, too, to represent that fold, center front, cut on fold means that we have the other half of that garment. Let's go ahead and line this up here. We're going to add seam allowance. We're going to add hem allowance. I'm going to go ahead and draw the bottom of my hem. Again, using my alphanumeric paper. And I can also draw another grain line parallel here with my center front. Arrows going both directions. Let's match this. There with our center front. Get a pattern weight on there or a little tuna can of beans to weight things down. Go ahead and line up the other end of your center front. Smooth things out. That looks good. Great. So now we can start tracing off our copy. And you can use a pencil. I'm going to use a pen. Tracing off my waist. Using the ruler to keep that paper down and also prevent myself from drawing on my pattern. You can bring those dart legs up. Let's go ahead and draw where those notches are for the dart legs. 1, 2, it's one dart, 1/2 inch wide. Our second dart. Let's go find the dart tips. Look, they're right there. And we'll continue with our tracing. I put my ruler down here just to hold that paper down. Tracing my hip curve. Down to the horizontal balance line for the hip. Right here. And now, the rest of our side seam, I can also place the ruler right on this straight edge and use that for my copy, which is a little cleaner. Looks like we have everything copied off. This is our front peg skirt. Okay, this is also our basic skirt. Other than just being pegged right there at the bottom. Everything else looks the same at the waist and over at the side seam. And we're going to put cut 1 on our fold, and then we have our name. And the date. And this is going to be cut 1, and it's also going to be self fabric, which means matching all over to the whole garment. And we're going to continue now with our copy and adding seam allowance, filling in our darts. Go ahead and connect our dart legs. We would have notches here. We're going to bring that up. Here's our horizontal balance line. If you want to add that in, you may. And we can go ahead and smooth over here at the side seam. Smoothing it out a little bit. And I can add that seam allowance. 1/2 inch on our side seam. And I'm going to make little short lines here on the curve part. We'll come back and connect it with our hip curve. And up at our waist. Let's go ahead and grab our hip curve. Connect that hip line. Flip your ruler to your waist. Curving up, make a little point there right in the middle of the dart pickup, extending our dart legs. Very important. Our notches. Truing up my dart tips, going back a 1/2 inch for my drill hole. We can go ahead and add a hem. This can be 1 inch or 1 1/2. That's your choice. So let's make this 1 inch. And we want to have the same angle as above, so it's matching. So 1 inch above, I've marked where that side seam allowance is. It's right there. So I'm going to bring down a line that's perpendicular. Here I am at the hem, angling it back. I'll draw with a pencil the line that I have there with my ruler. So it goes down and then it goes back out. Here's our hem. And here is our front skirt. Let me go ahead and do a couple more things. Fine tuning. Grain lines extended up through the very edge of the pattern. And you know it's a grain line because it has the arrow on it. And this is also cut one on fold, but this could be also cut one, I put, or open. So depending on how your fabric is, how big your table is. Cutting out my hem. Cutting out my hem side seam. And now we're going to cut out the waist, but you can do something sort of fancy up here, which is really nice. You can fold from your dart tip. Not the drill hole. And we can take our dart pickup increase that. So when we're cutting that first dart, we can see exactly what that pointed line looks like. Let's do that for the second dart. Let's take that dart pickup. We're cutting over the waist, the dart. Now you can see what that pointed line looks like. It's a nice little correction. We'll go ahead and cut the rest of the waist. And now we get to make the back. So the dart tip, drill hole. So we'd make a little mark here, and we would sew past it by 1/2 inch. Little notch here at the hip, and I'm really happy with that pattern. This is Annette Jolie, and I hope you check out the next video because I'll be doing the back. Have a great day.